Are you interested in the world of psychology, and especially when it comes to celebrity behaviour? Well, this could be the channel for you. In this particular video, I'm looking at the Kris Jenner's 70th birthday bash and Harry and Meghan allegedly securing an invite but have been snubbed in the photographs. Nothing has gone up online anywhere, and apparently one was even taken down. So what is really going on? Were they invited? Did they crash the party? Were they removed? Because there's lots of things circulating. So we're going to get to the bottom of everything. So come join this little community where we get to the truth. If you've enjoyed the video, please think about liking it because it does help the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future uploads. So as you're still here, welcome. So go grab your drink of choice, whatever that may be, as you sit back and relax. My name is Ems and you are watching Tea with a Touch of Therapeutic Knowledge. Hey everyone, I hope you've had a fantastic weekend, whatever you were up to. We are coming up to Thanksgiving, I believe, very soon for you guys over in the States and Canada. And I'm not sure if anywhere else celebrates it, but I think it's just Canada and the States. But yeah, we're coming up to that very soon. Well, today I've just decided I'm going to sit back and relax and drink some fizzy mango. I was going to get a coffee, but then I thought, no, I've had enough, and I'm sort of hopping around like Tigger already. So probably need to calm myself down a little bit. So yes, Harry and Meghan. This is a very interesting one. So I was going to talk about Harry's backtrack. So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to discuss that a bit more on Bite-Size Tea. So if you're interested in breaking down the body language aspect of Harry's the interview that he did, then I'm going to put that over there. But for this one, because obviously this is just too huge to not put out on here. So apparently, Harry and Meghan were invited to Kris Jenner's 70th birthday bash. They were obviously invited earlier in the day to Serena Williams' baby to baby gala. And there are pictures of them with Serena, not looking particularly happy, I will add, especially when you look at the picture of Harry, Meghan and Serena. I'll put that up here. But so this was apparently earlier on in the day. But what's interesting is the only pictures that we have seen circulated are supposed paparazzi pictures outside somewhere. Now, it is very possible that that was outside going to Serena Williams. Again, Harry doesn't look particularly happy. Meghan has got her rictus duper's delight grin on her face. But obviously it's been circulating that Harry and Meghan were invited to Kris Jenner's 70th birthday. There is something about this that just doesn't add up to me. And you can definitely see, so when you look at and there's been a lot of photographs that have circulated on Kris Jenner's Instagram, Kim Kardashian, well, all of the Kardashians' Instagram, there have been pictures circulated. So let's look at Kris Jenner's she did have a birthday party. I'm saying a more meaning supposed Harry and Meghan turning up, being invited. So look, 16 pictures. Oprah. I mean, I have to say, I think Kris Jenner looks absolutely stunning. That red dress is amazing. Quite jealous. It's Justin Bieber. Stunning. Not sure who they are, but they're obviously someone. See, look at all of these pictures with all of the guests. Very famous people here. Admittedly, I don't know half of who they are, but I'm pretty sure it's a star-studded bash. And then we'll go to this one. Well, there's 20 pictures.
how the other half live. They're saying that I don't even know if I'd want this type of life, actually. Don't know if I could. Mariah Carey, the diva herself, the one that called Meghan a diva and she didn't like it. So let's zoom in on that one. All ladies, look, see, nothing. I thought for a second that was Meghan, but it's not. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, absolutely. Paris Hilton. Not one single. So there we have Gayle King and Oprah. You'd think that Meghan would be in on that one. Even Tyler Perry. That's Tyler Perry there. And not sure if that's Beyonce, but I think Beyonce did turn up. But not one single picture of Meghan and Harry. And I'm sorry, but I find that very, very odd. You know, if they were wanted there and invited because they were wanted there, then why would they not? They're not there in any of the background photographs, nothing on Kim's or anyone's. And it's been a few days now since I actually recorded this, and I've still checked and there's still nothing, albeit that now there is the rumour of Kim putting one up but removing it. I can't see any evidence of that. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I haven't seen it. So yeah, there's just absolutely nothing anywhere of Harry and Meghan. So I just find that very telling. I think it speaks volumes, and it's not going to go down well. Meghan is not going to like the fact that she was snubbed, but that's if they were actually there for the whole thing. It's possible that they somehow orchestrated this to make it look like they turned up. They turned up, got a photograph and left because they felt awkward, because apparently I've also heard that they were also ignored by everyone.
Now, they don't turn their comments off. You know, they're not afraid of the backlash because they do get it. They really do. Especially Kim, she really does get a lot of heat. But they're not afraid. It's like it doesn't seem to faze them at all when they get any backlash. But I find it a little bit odd that these two were supposedly invited. Now, there is a picture that's a couple of pictures circulating, and they're not particularly very clear pictures of them having a picture taken with Chris, and then there's one of Meghan with Kim. But what I find odd is when you look at the pictures that have been put out on their Instagram, and there's a lot of pictures where you see a lot of people in the background, there isn't one picture that showcases Harry and Meghan. There is not one picture of them being photographed with another celebrity. There is not one picture of them being photographed where they're, say, in the background when there's a group shot. There's nothing. So what is going on? And I just find this a little bit odd. Now, when I've looked into sort of connecting the dots, like, for example, Meghan's cameo role. Now, Brie Larson is connected to WME. Emily Collins isn't, but apparently it was Brie Larson got the part secured by WME. And of course, we know that Meghan is apparently still, they have denied dropping her, but apparently there's a lot of tension. So whether or not this is going to, she's going to end up being dropped, because in all fairness, nothing's really happened that's done her any good. So when I look at that, it seems very plausible that WME secured this cameo role for her. I think they're trying to potentially get her something, even though when she joined up with WME, she did apparently state that acting was not part of it. It was to push her brand, etc. Well, now here we have her dipping her toe into acting. And for anyone that says it's a Hollywood comeback, they need to get their head read. She was never in Hollywood. There's no comeback. She was never there in the first place. So stop with this Hollywood comeback thing. It's so annoying. But anyway, So we have the fact that also Kris Jenner she's not with WME, but she has a connection to them. Emma Grede, is that her name? Is it Emma Greedy or is it Emma Grede? I never quite know. Now, she is also signed with WME. So I wonder if there's this interlinking here of trying to push Meghan onto people, of trying to get something, because I'm pretty sure that Meghan is, I'm not quite sure how it works with these talent agencies. Does Meghan pay to have a talent agency like WME? Because if that's the case, then they're probably even going to want, it's like a business, they're going to want to keep securing that money coming in. So they're going to try and do what they can. But even if it's not that, it doesn't matter, because it just feels to me as like she's being pushed on people. And I do wonder if this is part of this as well, because to not have, when you've got photographs of them standing with Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Beyonce, there's Justin Bieber, there's Hailey Bieber, there's, like a lot of A-listers were there. And Meghan and Harry are very controversial people. They come with a lot of negativity. So was this perhaps a ploy even to, now I would have said maybe it was a ploy to, so not putting them up on their Instagram was potentially because they didn't want to get the backlash. But when the Kardashians get so much backlash themselves that they are not fazed by it, I kind of feel that that isn't something that would necessarily bother them. So apparently, I haven't seen this, but apparently it's come out that Kim put it up on her Instagram, but then took it down. Now if that happened, that speaks volumes. Because if you look at, like I say, if you look at all of the pictures, there's nothing. Now, like I say, I've seen a couple of grainy, weird photographs again of it looking like they are there. But again, I don't know, just something doesn't feel right here. And I can't put my finger on it, because if you've invited people, why would you not want your photograph with them? Because if you've invited them, it's either one of two things. You've invited them because you like them. Now, we know that Meghan has tried to groom Kris Jenner because she has sent her a basket of her as ever products. And Kris Jenner has thanked her, but she's put it on her stories. She's not put it on her actual sort of page, her Instagram page. She's put it on her stories, which disappears within 24 hours. So I think that that was possibly intentional. But if you're inviting people, so it's one of two things. Either you want them to come or you're feeling like you have to. Now, was this to do with Emma? Because we know that Emma is connected to Chloe with Good American. She's the co-founder. And we have seen that Emma has recently almost been spending time with Meghan. So is there something going on behind the scenes and Emma is perhaps helping her? And maybe she secured the invite to the 70th birthday party and reluctantly Kris and Kim did it. Because we also saw, was it quite some time ago, that there was a picture with Doria and the Kardashians. So I think the Kardashians are polite people in the sense of they'll take a photograph with somebody. But it just seemed a bit odd that there's been nothing. We know Meghan is a narcissist. When you've got a group photo, when if she's friends with, say, Oprah, Gayle, all of those people, why weren't they ushered sort of into the group photograph? You would do that if you're friends with somebody, especially if you want to help them. You'd be like, look, come here, come and get in this photograph. We know that will circulate, but there was nothing. So what's going on? Some people have said they gate crashed. I don't know if I believe that, because I would imagine that security is tight for Kris Jenner and the Kardashians because of obviously how sort of high up they are in that sense. So they went to this. What's interesting as well is that she was wearing the same thing that she wore at Serena's. which is also a little bit odd. So they went to this thing at Serena's first, and then somehow then just decided to just pop into... We know how much Meghan has coveted the Kardashians, and I'm sorry, I absolutely do believe that if they'd have secured an invite to Kris Jenner's 70th, that she would have done anything she possibly could to get that exposed. Like she tried to do with Anna Wintour when she orchestrated that moment with Anna Wintour where she got a photograph and she managed to secure that quick talk with her. But we all know that Anna Wintour is very good friends with Victoria Beckham. And of course, the media spin on that was that, oh, look, you know, that they're getting along. It's like, well, no, Anna was just being polite. So is this a similar type of thing with the Kardashians? They're just being polite. So did they secure an invite, or was the picture that was taken on the outside, was that taken as they were entering into the Serena Williams gala, but it's been made to look like it's with the Kardashians? And the picture that's of them inside, was that photoshopped? I don't know, because again, like I say, I don't know. I cannot put my finger. Now, normally I can try and work things out, but something just doesn't add up to me here. So, like I say, either they turned up and yes, maybe they or Harry secured the invite and Meghan tagged along. Because like I've said before, I don't believe that they're together, as in romantically together. I absolutely do believe they live separate lives, but they just come together to still create this illusion of being in a relationship. So I don't know. But just, yeah. I mean, when I've looked into every which way possible, I cannot find a single photograph of them all together that has been supported by anybody. I have seen that there's been media coverage of them going and the pictures of them, say, outside. But again, they're both wearing the same thing that they wore at Serena's. I just find it odd. Why would you go to one? You know, most celebrities tend to go to one thing, but then maybe get changed to go on to somewhere else. But was it intentional wearing the same thing to make it look as if they were going to the Kardashian one? Because that's what's been said. But again, like I say, if they were wanted there, why was there no picture taken that was put up on the Kardashian Instagram? I could understand it if they hadn't put any celebrities up on their Instagram, but they have. And they've not even tagged Harry and Meghan. They've not said, you know, I mean, they could have sort of twisted it in a sense and said, oh, and even royalty turned up, even though we don't see them as royal. But they could have said anything, but they've literally said nothing. And I think when you look at behavior and you look at, say, how we would behave, so if we've organized a party and we have wanted someone to come because we like them, and say this is the version of, you know, you controlling what goes up on Facebook or your Instagram. If you want them there and you've got photographs, you wouldn't want to offend them by not putting a photograph up. You know, you'd want to make sure that, especially if they're sort of important people to you, you would want to make sure that they didn't feel not included. And when you have, like I said, the fact that they've got Oprah, who's supposedly still apparently friends with Meghan, when you have Oprah and Gayle, who's supposedly friends with them as well. Now, we know Beyonce isn't a fan. So could that be something to do with it? Because Beyonce was there with her mother, I believe. I don't know. Because like I say, if it was one of us, the only reason why we wouldn't have that person is because that's like a tag along. When someone brings someone that you don't really want there, but you want the other person, so you kind of got to accept, but you tend to not have the photograph up because you don't like the other person, or you've had to invite someone because they're a member of your family. You can't stand them, but you have to invite them anyway because it would look weird if you didn't. It kind of feels a bit like that. So yeah, it's just a very, very bizarre situation. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen, like, there's been some rumors of apparently they were removed because they were using their cell phones. Again, I don't know if I believe that, because I mean, look, are they known for it? Yes, but I just feel, I don't know if I believe that they would have been removed. I don't know if the Kardashians are that way inclined, or maybe Harry and Meghan probably might be a little bit more discreet. But again, what would be the point? Because the whole point would be to get photographs that they could put out. But she's put nothing out on her Instagram. Not even an acknowledgement, not even a picture of her and Harry dressed up. There's been nothing, absolutely nothing. But I think what it's done has shown that they really are not important. Even if they did secure an invite, it's shown that the Kardashians do not consider them important enough to have a photograph of them on their Instagram. And I think it speaks volumes to the fact that, you know, with Meghan, I think trying to maneuver herself back into Hollywood, which is what I think she's attempting to do, I think people are just putting up with things because, unfortunately, Hollywood and those type of people, they are very superficial, in my opinion. But the Kardashians are very much about family, and so I think having them there would, in a sense, you know, because it almost becomes about sides, doesn't it? You're either on Harry and Meghan's side or you're on the side of the royal family. And I don't know. I think Kris Jenner is too savvy, too smart to, I mean, she hasn't got to where she is without being that way. Whether you like or don't like how they've come about their money, she's very business savvy. And so she's going to know that perhaps maybe having Harry and Meghan there was to draw attention to the 70th birthday bash. I don't know, but I think they would have got attention anyway. But I also think she doesn't want them to monopolize the attention because, again, it's about them. So having more pictures of Harry and Meghan put out would then maybe take the limelight away from the Kardashians and make it about Harry and Meghan. So it could be that too. But it's just very interesting. There's just nothing. Like I say, and even with the mingling photographs of everyone in the background, can't see Harry and Meghan anywhere. So were they there, just briefly popped in and then left, but tried to make it look good, got a photograph, then left? I don't know. But either way, I think it does show the temperature. These two are just not liked. And I genuinely do feel that they're possibly being pushed on people because they're trying to secure her work, or like I say, she's maneuvering in that arena because she desperately wants to get into fashion and possibly beauty, who knows. But she's going to try to emulate what the Kardashians have. She wants that same level of power. So she will not be happy being sidelined. That's going to bother her. And if the Kardashians have sidelined them, snubbed them, they're going to be on her hit list. She's going to be going all out narc revenge. She's not going to want that. And I think when you go up against people like the Kardashians, you're in for a very bumpy ride, because whether you don't like them, they have a lot of connections and power in that industry. And yeah, so I don't know. I just, even with the Serena Williams gala event, there was only a picture of Meghan and Serena, and I think Meghan, Serena, and a couple of other people, and that was it. It's like I just truly do believe, I don't know why Serena puts up with her. Maybe because she draws traffic. Maybe that could be it, because let's face it, would we really have heard about it if she wasn't turning up? And that could be why people are using them, which, you know, fair enough. Harry and Meghan have used people, so why not other people use them? But I don't know. But I think it does speak volumes. I really do. I think that this is showing that maybe the Kardashians are making a statement of saying, You know, we're in control here. You know, this isn't about you. This is about us. And, you know, and maybe putting Meghan in her place. You know, you may get the invite, but you don't get to control the narrative. I'm top dog here, because I do think that there would be a bit of a power play because of Meghan's ego, like she did with the royal family. Her ego believed that she could be more popular than Princess Catherine and the late Queen. And that was proven very mistaken. And maybe Meghan believes that she's doing the same thing, that she can be more popular than the Kardashians. And this is all in her head, right? We know the truth. We know the way things are, but Meghan is delusional in the way that she bigs herself up. No one loves Meghan more than Meghan loves Meghan. So yeah, but let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think is really going on? Is there more to this, do you think? Have you spotted something that perhaps I've missed because I'm over here in the UK? And obviously in the States, maybe some things have come out that I haven't seen. You know, what have you heard? And like I say, I'm trying to keep away from any gossip or rumours. I will mention them, but say that they are. So if you have anything credible, then please email me, because I would be interested, because something just isn't adding up to me here. You know, I trust my instincts and something feels off. So yeah. So please don't forget to like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel because it's free and so you don't miss future uploads. Also, remember there's all the links to my other platforms that I am on if you want to get extra things. Come and join us over on Facebook if you are there and you want to join up to the page. The link is below. If you would like to treat me to a cuppa to support my free therapy program, then that would be amazing. You can also join up as a member. Remember, depending on the type of membership you have, you get a free phone call or video chat with me. So if you have one of those tiers, then please email me so I can set that up with you. I have a PO box if you want to write to me, or if you want to send anything that you like and you want to show me and I can showcase it here. Please, again, look at my PO box and you can send me something there. But as I always say, these are optional. You do not have to do that. It doesn't take anything from what I give back to you here. And always look after yourself first and foremost. Please do not donate to anybody or do anything for anybody if you are struggling financially. Please look after yourself. So that being said, let me know what you want me to discuss, maybe in the next video, unless something comes up from those two. I'm happy to go into a bit more detail of Harry's interview if you want me to do that. I'm covering it briefly over on BITESIZE Tea, but if you want something a little bit more in depth, I am happy to do that. If you want me to cover other things, like I have been looking into the myth carriage and things about that, also some more things regarding the children, you know, if you want me to do that, because I don't want to keep being repetitive, because I know that some of you feel that way, but I also recognize that new people are coming on and they don't always see my older videos. So if you have something that you would like me to discuss, what I'll probably do is put a poll up on my community page. So maybe head across there at some point later on today and answer that poll, and whatever the majority, I will just kind of go down the list, because I have found something out very interesting in regards to the boy. So if you want me to discuss that, then let me know. And that's it. So have a great rest of the week. I'll see you in the next video. Like I say, please head across to BITESIZE Tea, so I'll see you over there, and support that channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So take care as always, look after yourselves, and just know that I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.